Hi, so originally I was gonna do my entire labor and delivery video, but that ended up being over 20 minutes long. I don't think you guys want to hear me talk that much. So instead I'm just gonna talk about the main parts and what stood out the most to me. So first of all, my water broke, and it's not like what you see in movies and TVs with the whole gush of water down your leg and everything. For me, it was more like little leaks here and there, and I could tell it was not pee because it did not smell like pee. It smelled like semen. When I called and I told my midwife this, she asked me if I had sex. I'm like, no, I did not have sex, not at 37 weeks pregnant. So she told me to go to the hospital to get checked out. We went to the hospital and she wanted to do a dilation check on me to see how far along I was. So I thought they were just gonna take an x-ray or an ultrasound to scan me to check how far I am. But no, it's very old-fashioned. They just put their whole hand in there, or however many fingers they can fit in there, feel around inside. And that was like the most painful part of the whole thing, honestly. That was the most painful part. And at that point I was just 0 centimeters too. The lady beside me, we're just separated by curtains, she's screaming and swearing, and I overheard a nurse say she's only 2 to 3 centimeters. And so I'm crying to Kevin thinking, oh my god, how am I going to get through this? I can't even deal with the dilation check. How am I going to go through the actual birth? So then I got the morphine. The morphine, you got to be at least 5 centimeters to get it. And I almost didn't even want to get it because that means they have to do another dilation check on me. But I decided to still go for it. And when they checked me, luckily I was 5 centimeters already, so I didn't have to go through another check. So after I got the morphine, I got relief from the contractions I was having, and it's like period cramps times 100, and they're like waves. They just keep coming for hours, and it gets stronger too, and they last longer. But having the morphine really helped relieve some of that and made it more bearable. So the morphine kind of slowed down my progress, and I got stuck around 7 centimeters, so they suggested that I get induced. And that freaked me out because I hear about stories of being induced and how much more painful the contractions are and how much more intense it's going to be. So that's when I decided, okay, I want the epidural then. The epidural part wasn't that bad because I had the morphine, so I didn't feel anything at all. I didn't feel like that long needle that goes in your spine. Like it sounds scary, but you don't feel anything. So at this point, it's been over 24 hours, and they're saying how from the time my water breaks to when the baby's out, like it can't be too long or else it'll risk getting infection for both me and her. And so they want to do another dose of the oxytocin. And at that point, my epidural ran out. And I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna feel everything then. I don't want to feel everything. And then the nurse, she wasn't helpful. She was saying, I never seen anyone run out of epidural before. I don't even know how to refill it. That was not reassuring. So I told Kevin to go find someone who does know how to do the refill. Once we got that done, got the second dose of the oxytocin and finally progressed to 9-10 centimeters. It was time to push. Pushing part wasn't too bad. You just feel pressure, but you don't feel any pain because of the epidural. My midwife was really good in coaching me so I wouldn't rip or tear or need an episiotomy. I still needed some internal stitches though, but yeah, again, you don't feel anything when you're on the epidural. One of the things that I was worried about going to this was pooping on the table. I made Kevin promise me that if I do poo while pushing to not tell me and to, never talk about it again. So after we finally got her out, it was time to get the placenta out. And that was easy, just 1 or 2 pushes and it just kind of slid right out like, bloop. That was such relief too because it's like being constipated, like you're so backed up and then you finally get that big piece of shit out, like that kind of relief. Yeah. So that's pretty much the main parts of it. I know everyone's experience is different, but I thought I'd share because like going to this, I don't know anything what to expect since I'm like the first person of my friends to have a baby, and my one friend that does have a baby, she had C-section, so it's totally different. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful, and thanks for watching.